Alright, this is the final video. In this video we're going to dive into something a bit more advanced. This is going to regard something called Visual Composer, and basically that's something that allows us to drag and drop and create information freely on a page. That's the best I can kind of describe it. So let's check it out. If we come to this little demo link, we have Visual Editor. We'll see we got two paragraphs that are separated. We've got this tab thing. You know, if we click it, it gives us information, some buttons, and some other stuff. That was freely created using the Visual Composer. Alright, so let's go over it. Right now I've clicked Pages and then add a new page. And then I'll write, let's see, testing. I can't spell, as usual. Testing Visual Composer. Let's publish it, save it, whatever. And then generally speaking, when you come to a page, so far we just talked about just adding content. Blah, blah, blah. Save it. And then if I view this page, that's what we get, right? However, we can use the Visual Composer, which we see in these blue set of buttons right here, right? So back in Editor, here's what we get. Nothing's been created so far, so let's go ahead and start. So we'll do add a row. We'll just go ahead and add a couple of rows, all right? First row, we're going to go ahead and section this into three areas, so 3 columns. So if you remember the default one, we have 2 columns here. Let me add some other stuff, right? So first 2 columns, right? I've done 3. And now what do I want to put in there? I'm going to do text. So text block. And listen, when I click this, you're like, oh my God, what are all these things? Oh, what am I getting into? Don't worry about that. There's a plethora of information regarding Visual Composer and using this, so you can Google and search and learn and all sorts of stuff. I'm just going to kind of dive into, you know, what the point of this thing is and how the basis of it works. All right. So let's go back to this. Here's our text. We could play with it. You got your text in there. Maybe you want to bold some font. You know, whatever. Maybe give it a title. A title goes here. Whoops. Let's see. Let's do heading 2. Center. We'll do a little bit of animation, and that actually will come more into effect a bit later. We'll come back to that. So now I got middle section. I'll duplicate it twice because it's much easier to do this and go and edit and redo all those options yourself, right? So here we are. I've duplicated it. I've dragged and dropped, and as you can see, you can drag this thing around. And so, you see how that moves? I can take this one and move it up here. So it's really intuitive as far as, you know, moving stuff around. All right, so let's save. Now we'll refresh this page, and here's what we get. We get our 3 columns, which I just created, right? So let's do some more. Now we got another section here, right? Let's click the plus. Let's do an image, just for fun. Add our image. Let's use something from our library. We'll use this guy. Set it. There it is. We'll do an animation, appear from center. Why not? Center line. There's a bunch of other options and stuff. I'm not going to cover that. You can, you know, work on that and discover on your own. And then below that, I will add, we'll just do more text again, so I can't cover every single thing that's listed in here. Some more animation, left to right, save it, let's update. Let's refresh. So here we go. Here's our information. Here's our picture. Here's our text. And if you notice, we get a little bit of animation as we look at this. Look, see how that kind of comes, slides, and scrolls in? So as you add stuff, you can kind of choose whether you want to add animation to that section or not. So if I add another row down here, text, now is where we're getting some real fun, right? And then what I'll do is add an image. Let's see, we'll float it left and we'll do, let's do medium size. Insert. We'll do animation now. We're going to do, let's do bottom to top. Got that in there. Here we are, right? And then I will duplicate this. So now I've got it again. So maybe I'll add a different picture, add a different section of text. But now what I'm going to do is just to kind of change things up and have some fun. I'll click this again. My alignment's left, right? So let's make it right. Update. Save. Now it's on this side. Let's update here. And again, I'm going a little fast here, but if you really want to dive into this, there are tutorials for working with Visual Composer. I'm just kind of outlining what's possible, how you can work with this thing to kind of be creative and update your site. So let's go ahead and refresh. Same stuff. We got our 3 text boxes, our little goofy image, this and now this is what I want to show you. As I'm scrolling down, we're going to get some animation in here. See how it kind of pops in there? So that's kind of how that works. And if I add another section, let's say add row, it's going to automatically add to the bottom. There it is. We'll do more text. You know, whatever, I'll block quote it because block quotes are fun. Animation, left to right. Go. Save. Scroll down, we got that fun sliding in stuff. And then look how that slides in there. Real subtle, but it's there. So that's it. Just kind of want to touch base on that. So that's working with the Visual Composer.